to the point where something like that could be a good thing. If someone's moved in after a few months, it might not be the smartest thing to do to open a joint account with them, in which case, you just relatively evenly split some of those bills. Or if they're all in one person's name because it was your flat and someone's moved in with you, then you ask for a fair and proportionate contribution, one payment to you each month. That's would probably be a fair way of going about doing it. And then hopefully at some point down the line, you'd both move into somewhere where either you're both tenants or you're both owners of a property.
And what's the rules of a joint account? Are people meant to put all of their wages into this joint account, or are we meant to?
I don't think there's
contribution into that joint account.
Yeah, I mean, some married couples, I think, probably just chuck everything in there. But I don't think there's any set rules. I think personally, I would prefer to have just whatever you need in there. So you work out how much the house costs to run and how much food you both eat, and then split that down the middle if they're both equal earners, or proportionally if one earns more than the other. Add that into your joint account each month, and that's where you take your money from for all your basic living costs.
So being realistic, a man and woman coming together doing that is probably not everyone's ideal situation. Not everyone's ideal situation. I mean, it's not something that a lot of people are thought of or a lot of people are willing to do.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't willing to share finances when they aren't doing so great on their own. Some people, or they don't want to split their money in that way.
Yeah.
Because if you share finances, it means that, if one person wants to spend a little bit over this month, they can by spending some of the money contributed by the other
from the joint account.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is where it's not simple. Like I said earlier, you don't do it immediately because you've got to build up some trust in that person. If you're going to share a financial account with them, you have to trust that they are fair, equitable. They're not going to overspend. If they're going to overspend and they're going to spend on things that are just for them, for example, then that needs to come from their own money.
Okay.
But then every couple's different. Like a couple that's been together for a long time, like a married couple, they might just see all of their money as just theirs, and one of them might be absolutely fine with one of them spending more on themselves than the other one.
Yeah.
And they just see it as our money is our money, and we can each spend it how we want to.
So
that's a nice position to be in, obviously.
Yeah.
And not everybody is. You can easily see how this becomes, and money is often the main contributor to why couples split up.
Yeah.
So I think being open and honest about money as often as you can is really important, because if things get sort of held back or secrets start developing around secret spending habits, then that can lead to the breaking up of relationships.
So how early should a couple discuss money? Or
I think certainly as soon as you're pretty serious about each other, you don't need, I'm not saying at that point you need to give them all your passwords to your bank accounts, but openly discussing money, I think is something that shouldn't be discouraged. Like money's not a taboo subject. It's a part of who we are, what we earn, what we're able to generate, what we're able to provide from a lifestyle for ourselves or anybody else that might be a life partner. That's important information to know. And yeah, if you keep things back, it prevents complete trust growing between a couple, and trust is the bedrock of a solid relationship. And if there's no secrets, big part of that is money, then it should be a really strong relationship.
So discussing things like debt can be a taboo subject, since even a lot of people don't disclose debt to their own family members. Mm-hmm. Debt is usually something that's kept a secret.
Yep.
So things like, you say, discussing money as early as possible when you start to become more serious with each other.
Yep.
Is debt should be discussed at that point too?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and
because debt might be something that one of you is really struggling with mentally, and that often leads to not wanting to talk about it because it's something you're vulnerable about. But it's something that maybe the other person can help you with,
or
not financially, but being open about something is, truth sets you free. And if you're holding some things back that are eating you up a little bit, and debt can be a real source of stress. One of probably the most common cause of stress and serious stress. And being able to share that with your partner is really important. Because if you hide it and then it comes out later down the line in a much more serious way, then that can have the opposite effect.
Yeah. Even if you have a fear that person may walk away at that point because they're like finding out you're £25,000 in debt, you're 35 years old. It's like, what has this person been doing? And it's not debt from like a mortgage.
Yeah.
It's just debt from bad decisions accumulated up into the age you are now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's, if you're at that stage where it's accumulated to that point and you haven't shared it and you've been with them a long time, I understand how that might be difficult to approach, but I don't think you should have got yourself into that point. I think being open with it when you're getting to know each other is the time to do it, not when you're in a settled relationship and you're 2 or 3 years down the line.
Yeah. Okay, and as people who are like high earners, what should they look for in a partner to avoid catching the wrong one in a financial sense?
Like, do you think someone might be a bit of a leech?
But there might be exactly, basically.
I don't know.
I couldn't think of a better word.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is to that. I don't know.
How does one?
Don't let yourself get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
So I think if you're it's very easy to be swept away at the early stages of a relationship, isn't it? And you want to spend all this money on someone, but I think you should be, if you're a high earner and you've got wealth, and I think you should be able to tell relatively early on if someone's taking you for a ride.
Some people can be a bit blind.
Absolutely. Love is blind. And if you fall for someone early on, then I guess make sure that you've got, because it might not be something that you can do, but make sure you've got a good circle of trustworthy friends and family who can advise you and listen to them.
I mean, should one hide their earnings? Or hide their wealth?